And here we are on Clash Teeth with Houston against Cookies. Bit of Sobarm versus Knef, which means it's DLC factions all round. Not sure if this is played on vanilla or modded, but we'll see. So, we will go with South for Houston and North for Cookies. So Houston here in green Sobarn, and Cookies here in the yellow and blue Knef. So we're on modded, yeah, much lower HPs. So, pre-standard opening, looks like Knef has recycled their base runner. Same for Sobarn. Targeting jammer. Don't know if there's any real value to doing that. I know it used to be something we tried to stop blast drone rushes, but let's see. Let's go to production so we just see what's being built when it's being built. Production crews are heading out, so I'm expecting some skimmers to come from that. They are building now. Possible he's going for a rush then, but that seems very dangerous against Sobarn. Let's see if we can get a camera somewhere more cinematic. Oh right, so the targeting jammer is now a freebie, so putting that down as literally zero cost and may actually have some value. It seems like it would have been better on this side though, nearer to the carrier, but I suppose it doesn't well prevent his carrier from firing, so seems reasonable. 3 skimmers coming out there, and we've got Cookies expanding. So yeah, there is literally no reason it shouldn't be more on the salvages, but it's possible that was the belief, hence placement. How are units nowadays? 450, 2 armor, 16 damage. Is that base or? Alright, so base LAVs have 2 armor, while skimmers have 540 health and 0 armor. Is the damage difference? They only do 11 damage? What the hell? What have you been doing, man? What are these values? Yeah, that seems like a really bad fight for those LAVs. So the rate of fire on sand skimmers is vastly higher, so although it's 11 damage per shot, it's dished out a lot quicker. Okay. Houston really needs to expand. This does not seem safe. I realise he was probably scared about the rush coming in at him, but this is way too passive. He is going to be at a massive disadvantage. Moving out with those LAVs, try and get some map control and scouting, but based on the fight I just saw between the skimmers and LAVs, I do not rate his chances. Again, a lot of pressure coming here from Cookies, but why no AAV? I mean, the AAV fab seems like a no-brainer for this situation. Possibly something I'm missing here, but again, to me, I presume it's a lot more costly to expand, which is a big part of it. Again, still really do not like this engagement. Close range, yeah, those skimmers are going to chew up those LAVs. Yeah, Houston, really bad position here. Taking a lot of damage, although doesn't convert. 1 kill. Really should grab that second one, but the pace on this is much lower. I would have expected second production cruiser back here by now. Let's have a look at some of the costs in here. 75. So I presume changes have been made which kind of extend this phase. There's a much longer period in which... Whoa! This map's been expanded? Or is it we've just never moved into that space before now? Felt like those skimmers were going off map. Ooh. LAVs finally have the numbers advantage. Whoa, 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 what? Alright, it was just the terrain blocking. Okay. Admit there, I thought the skimmers had more range. So those LAVs now moving to go on the offensive, and Cookie's trying to go into a more greedy build now, and of course, fair enough, fair enough. So basically a complete switch of situations simply by virtue of Houston sticking to his guns and keeping the LAV production up, which has disrupted Cookie's economy somewhat. But still able to transition into getting his expansion up. Again, the fact that Houston still hasn't grabbed any of those resources on that first wreck is quite concerning. And I expect that is going to come back to bite him in the arse at some point. Yeah, the production cruiser had already pulled back and was going in a completely different direction to the skimmers. So I don't even think that Houston saw it. It's currently here and will be under threat from these 5 LAVs. Is Houston? Yeah, Houston's coming in from both directions, so even as this runs to the KNEF carrier, it's gonna take hits. Is he gonna focus the PC, or is he gonna try and get those salvage kills though? Focusing on skimmers at the moment, which is probably the correct call. Loses 2 LAVs, which is the same. 3 LAVs for 3 skimmers, 4, looking like 5 LAVs, and yeah, so he's 2 LAVs down to 3 skimmer kills. So, bad trade on Houston's part. Cookie's now getting that second production cruiser out and securing his economy, I presume. Assault ship tech coming. So he's had rail tech this entire time, but has had no reason to produce them. Not sure how the... do wish I could get build menus up and actually check costs, but I do wonder whether he would find any value in running assault rails, but considering there are rails and guns on the other side, it just seems like it would be a bad move overall. Houston finally choosing to expand the moment he's actually got a production cruiser, sorry, support cruiser to expand his economy to. Again, feels very safe. I'm so used to long hauling as a norm. You know. No, I have not seen the static dump files. To be fair, I haven't been keeping track of the game. It's just that I decided to start streaming, and people were like, "Hey, where's the deserts of Karak up in here?" And so here is the desert of Karak up in here. Houston getting some free damage on. Oh, Cookie's missing the opportunity to expand to his third. Economy is very much in line at the moment. It'd be interesting to see assault ships and how they're currently working. Very passive plays. You know, these railguns all the way back here when they could be covering mid, at least sitting on this ridge here, these ridges here, or at least up against the cliffs. But Houston is going for his first cap, which will put pressure on Cookies. And it looks like Cookies intends to answer it with his carrier. Trying to swing in with those missiles, get some damage on those LAVs. It is free, so no reason not to do it. And with LAVs not having regeneration, it is definitely something he needs to worry about. That chip damage can add up. Let's have a look-see here. That artifact is definitely going to get in, but that base runner won't survive if it does. No reason for these LAVs to stay. These LAVs... Ooh, that's a good play, though. Targeting jammer goes down. That goes in. Again, still doesn't stop that carrier, so he lost those LAVs. Wouldn't have said it was necessarily worth it. But, again, getting an artifact is always good. Railgun's there to punish, and assault ships pulling back. Not sure what the play is with the assault ships. I expect he's still going to struggle to actually catch any of the LAVs, and they're not really in any place to defend his economy, because the real worry here would have been these LAVs making a run round for his back line while his carriers all this way forwards. Instead they're pulling way too far forward. Nothing actually protecting his economy if these LAVs go for a run through. So Sobomb rails currently modded have a high rate of fire but have a much longer reload now, so they're much more of a burst damage. Even if their damage is roughly the same, having two shots means they're less likely to overkill, which will actually make them better at dealing with multiple targets at low health. They're more likely to get those kills without wasting as much of their damage. What are we seeing? 180 damage versus 155. So yeah, the disparity there is quite different, but with carriers having much lower HP pools, it works. So we have a bit of a standoff here. Really, Houston should have expanded to a third base by now. He could have full eco. I realise he has had some trouble with cookies attacking him, but getting the economy would make a massive difference. And the match has been relatively passive. Ooh, those LAVs are going for a run by, and these assault ships are well out of position. Where's the other group? Yeah. This is something you should always avoid doing. That said, see, a couple of these LAVs going around the back here to harass this economy would just do so much damage. And instead he's running around and letting cookies dictate the pace. So, what I want to point out is that Cookies has put up essentially a battle line here, which protects this side of the map, but it doesn't protect his economy. He's now correcting and moving his assault ships here, but these LAVs could have pulled off, boosted around, and hit his entire economy. We've got an air switch from Houston though, and that's going to be quite effective for now, but I expect we're likely... Oh no, going into siege rob and interceptors, that is going to cost Cookies big time. These strike fighters are going to get amazing value for now. Yeah, all those rails gone, and Houston is in a position to push. Yeah, air still able to come out and rack up a lot of damage very quickly. These skimmers trying to come around the back, but they're going to run into the LAVs, and I expect that is a fight that the LAVs will definitely win. Another production cruiser. Again, both players seem to be very much working around the notion that they only expand when they have the production or support cruiser to do so. Two very good missiles there, and scoring 2 free kills. Very nice. Some good shots there from Cookie. again, meanwhile, I just don't see the value in all of these assault ships. They're not being placed so that they can prevent run-bys by the LAVs. Um, they're kind of just milling around and aren't where they should be. If Houston had taken advantage, essentially this would be over because Cookies wouldn't have an economy. That said, it looks like Cookies is going to get around the side here, and there is nothing to defend this. Although there are armed logistics modules, have to see how effective they are. Those LAVs should be stopped by the assault ships, so those assault ships finally fulfilling their purpose. So, decent damage coming from those ALMs, but it looks like the rate of fire has been reduced, which is probably the right thing. The damage from those skimmers onto that support cruiser, this is going to be really bad for Houston. Yep, that is gone. Houston probably, yeah, only just noticed and he's trying to get over there whatever he can. But that being gone is going to seriously hamper his economy, and he still hasn't got this third unlocked, even though he's got the carrier available. So it's really going to be a case of how much longer Houston can keep taking good trades. But that is going to get steadily more difficult now. Meanwhile, Cookie is going up to a full economy. But those skimmers do get cleaned up, which is going to be relevant because now there is very little fast movers available for Cookies. He's got relatively static army here, very much reliant on these missile ships and assault ships. What is he taking into? I presume he's going to rely on those siege cruisers, then he's going to just try and run the Kniff siege and just try to bomb Houston out, which should work. If he gets a siege cruiser relatively soon, he's going to be able to put a lot of damage on these. And Houston is bleeding forces steadily. Got a lot of LAVs with low HP, and he still hasn't replaced that support cruiser. And I don't think he intends to. I think he might be going for the killing blow now. Houston, if you're going to push in, you need to push in now. Like, your edge is going to disappear with time. Why are the rails going first? Why are the rails going first? Like, the rails should be back here, up against this ridge here. And then you want to slide them along to here to get firing lines down here. You never push... Like, moving over this ridge is very dangerous. Yeah, I'm really not sure what Houston is doing. He doesn't have an economy. The longer this goes on, the worse it gets, and he's now going to throw his air at a missile ship. This is not worth it. This is so very not worth it. Your opponent has an economy. You don't. He's going to be able to replace and build more of those missile ships quicker than you can kill them. And yeah. It's a war of attrition, and Houston doesn't even realise it yet. Doesn't realise he can't win this kind of fight. So these should have moved up right away when he was here, thinking about moving over. These should have been here. This carrier should have already been here. Instead, now he's fighting with the way the controls work. That said, he is getting fire on this kind of carrier now, and there we go, there's a response. I presume he's using his carrier for vision right now, and that's why he's sat here in this awkward fashion. But Houston's only path to victory at this point, after being so far behind economically, is to push in. He needs to go in there and win this fight. And he's throwing away his air at the moment. It looks winnable if he pushed in. He's back here producing units like he can sustain this, and he can't. He's got a bank, which he's relying on at the moment, which is going to be empty soon. and then he's going to be dealing with bigger and bigger threats as his opponent gets bigger. To be fair, Cookies has removed the air threat, but you are right, he doesn't really have a means of dealing with these LAVs and these railguns currently. So it comes down to whether or not Cookies builds what he needs to build. So yeah, he's now denied that. So really, it at the moment it is 2 Rex against 1.5. But Houston's played this really poorly in my mind. It's worked out, but Cookies has had so much time to counter this. He had the rail tech already. He had missile ships. Now, will these skimmers get the run by? Because it's literally down to Houston is glass. If he loses this army, Houston can't win. He can't come back. Again, good trades, winning this fight. Loses some of the railguns, but still going. I think... Yeah, Cookie's thrown in the towel. Because his CUs have dried up at home, and he's lost so many CUs, he's kind of given it up. I don't think he realises how close it was. LEV's down. Like, I don't think Cookie realises that his opponent has nothing else in the tank. Push in on the carrier with your 2 PCs, kill those strike fighters as they come out. Yeah, see, Cookie's already decided that he'd lost this match when Houston pushed in. So in his head, he's told himself that Houston's rebuilt his economy back here, and he can't recover. You know, he's gonna just get stomped, and he's given up. Good grief! Ah, man, Cookie. I mean, well played to Houston. I didn't think Houston could win. Especially that sort of more measured push in. Good grief. If we check resources, yeah, both are down at nothing. Cookies has this massive RU bank. Yeah, so he bled himself of CUs. He didn't put his RUs to good use. He really should have been producing siege cruisers, which would have allowed him to basically push this off, I expect. But, well played to Houston. Again, good trades, made good use of his... He literally had nothing else. Literally had nothing else. If Cookie had realised and had managed to trade a little bit better, like, Houston didn't have anything else behind that. So, again, well played both of them. I feel like they were a bit too passive. I feel like Houston could have really hit Cookie with some backstabs. Could have done a lot of damage early on, but again, overall, well played.